rage like real. I ain't taking L's in Madden all year.
Yo. What's good, YouTube? It's Rage Real. So today's video I want to show you guys how to guard tight offset tight end or any tight formation in Madden 23. So if you enjoyed this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So first and foremost, I am in a multiple defensive playbook for defense, and to show you guys tight offset tight end, I'm in the Packers offense. So in case you're just curious about playbooks. Now, first thing I want to say is tight offset tight end can be really hard to guard because there's a lot of things that people can do out of it. You can attack the outsides. You can actually attack the middle of the field if you know what you're doing. So when I try to guard tight offset tight end, I like to play more coverage shell based. Now, there are chances to blitz, and I'll explain that through this video. So inside this video, you're going to see how I personally love to guard it. Now, it's going to be broken down between how advanced you are. So if you're a beginner and you're not really good at setting up adjustments, then I got a defense that'll work for you. And if you're advanced, meaning you're quick with your setups pre-snap, then there's another pre-snap defense that I like versus tight offset tight end. So excited to go and get started, man. So first and foremost, we have tight offset tight end right here. Let me go back to it. So most people put a halfback one package, which is going to give you 4 receivers out there. So one thing I like to do is actually, when I talk about how to defend something, now I like to go against what you would typically see somebody run out of tight offset tight end. Now that's normally going to be your Y out, and most of the time people are going to run these plays stock. Now there are certain adjustments some people will do before. When you try to guard something, you want to think about what majority of the people run. So they're going to run Y out, they're going to run mesh spot, and they're going to run these stock, right? So they're going to run Y out, they're going to run mesh spot. Of course, they're going to run the ball, and then they're also going to run PA seam stock. So those are really the plays that I really want to talk about. Now, yes, there are other setups. Yes, people can set up things different ways, but I wanted you to realistically see how to kind of guard it, because it doesn't really matter what they run. It matters on what we set up on defense. So that's just really most important. So what I'm going to do is I put Y out. I got mesh spot and PA seams, and I'm actually going to come out and let's come out and Y out. So for defense, now if I'm talking about tight offset tight end, there's a couple formations that I like. It all depends. So normally I like to start off in a dollar style of defense, because I want to see if they're a runner or a passer out of tight offset tight end, or if they're a balance. Now, if they are a runner, then I really do like to be in nickel over or 3-3. I like that versus runners. Now, if they're doing a great job mixing it up, I do like to be in 9, and if they're straight pass, I like to be in dollar. Now, what matters is our slot cornerback. So I like to put vertical hooks on where number 26 and number 27 are, but the thing is, you can only get that if it's a slot guy. So we could put vertical hooks in this defense for both sides. We could do it on this for both sides, but with nickel over, notice I only have one slot cornerback, so we only get one vertical hook out there. And I'm talking about more of the advanced setup. Now, first and foremost, what you want to do is, no matter what, is you want to turn your zone drops on. So I like having my flats at 15. Normally I like to keep them at 15 just to see. 15, sometimes I may bump it to 20, but I love to start off at 15 because I want to see if they're gonna, what all they want to run out of tight offset tight end. And I put my curls at 5 down. Normally I don't adjust my hook zones because I want them to play standard. So first and foremost, what I actually want to do is come out into something that you will probably run yourself. So that's gonna be nickel 3-3-5. But you know what? No, let's just go. This is me personally, right? So me personally, I love dollar 3-2-6 versus, and for a simple setup, what you can do is you can come out and actually I'll say dollar for advanced one. My bad, y'all. I'll say dollar for advanced. So if you want simple defense, what you can do is actually come out and cover for a drop. And what we're gonna do is actually first what you want to do is you want to be on the middle guy. Now you want to pinch your whole defense. Now to do that, you want to hit R1 and you're going to pinch your defense. Now this is going to help you play the run a little bit better. Now next thing I like to do is put hard flats by my linebackers and then shade up. So I like to have clouds, and then I'll take that hook zone right here and I will put him on a purple, which is going to be a flat route. So the running back side, I love to do that too. Put the purple, and then I put the cloud to this side. So basically he's going to help out on any corner routes. And also you could put safeties right here. Just because I didn't know me, you can't. I just forgot to. But remember, you can sub in safeties at these linebacker positions, okay? So as a base defense, this is what I really love to do. Now, also another thing I like to do if you want to get a little bit more advanced, let's say they're running the ball a lot, maybe they're running with the quarterback a lot. Another thing I like to do is actually spy this middle linebacker, and I like to grab either one of these safeties. It don't matter. Normally I like to grab the one opposite the running back, so that way if they run the ball, I can fill the gap in right here. Now, whatever safety I grab, I like to blitz him, and then I like to take the opposite safety and put him in the inside third. Now, this all depends on if you have time or not, because if you have time, I like to deep half square. So you might be wondering why, and that's because we're zone dropping, so we don't really need him to follow any corner routes because we're going to count on this guy. So with your user right here, what you're looking for is actually just trying to see, are there any drag routes or any routes underneath the middle. So let me kind of just show you what we're looking like right here. So I'm going to go on replay really quick, just kind of show you, and I'll also try to throw that triangle route out there too, but this is just a nice little base defense for if you aren't quick with your adjustments. And again, I'll show you that here in a second. So notice where we put them at. So notice how they're going to kind of bracket that at 15. So that's why I like it at 15, because 15 is going to naturally take away a lot of the routes that they want. And then notice that we do have a spy on the field too. You know, we just obviously didn't send him. So if they would have if he would have run out of the pocket, we would have sent the spy. And it just does a great job. Now right here is the only issue that you have. Yes, that's open. But technically with this setup, you can actually go run with it with the user. But if you don't want to guard that yourself, there are a couple things that you can do. There are a couple things that you can do. So if you want a little bit more of advanced setup, one thing that you can do is actually, like, let's say that corner route was giving you problems, right? So if you like to, you can start off with 20. It's just some things you're going to be giving up underneath, but you're taking away a really great concept out of that. So we're going to go back to 3-3-5 because I can show you everything out of 3-3-5 normal. It's one of the best defenses to actually guard it. And first and foremost, I do actually want to talk about the run too. So when we pinch our line, I like to notice who the run fits are in the cover 4. So any cover 4 style defense, no matter what formation, you're going to have great run fits. So just wanted to make sure I did show you. So notice how our safeties are included. Now, if you have time, what you can do, let's say you're slow in your adjustments, right? Because what you can do is actually go to cover 2. And now our cornerback's going to be playing at 20 out there. And what you can do here is actually just rotate and put your safety in middle third, and you could put your cornerback out here in the outside third. So basically we're playing cover 3 to one side, and we're going to be playing cover 2 to the other side. Now what I like to do here is actually take that mid-read, not mid-read, excuse me, I like to take that, the mid-read, sorry. And then we're actually going to put him in a flat route just like this. So remember, our flats are playing at 20, right? So sometimes I love to do this if I notice they aren't attacking the flats a lot, but they're attacking the middle. I love to do something like this. Or if we want a double maybe, we could take square, put him in a purple, and then we could take our slot cornerback and put him in a purple. So now we're playing a double Mabel to both sides. So this is obviously a really great concept that you can use. You guys know double Mabel is going to be really nice. Obviously circle would have been mine, but notice how everybody's going to just kind of sit. So really love that versus tight offset tight end. Now a couple things that I do like to do if you're advanced. I really love coming out in dollar, so I want to show you my dollar, how I personally guard tight offset tight end, like personally if somebody's really giving me that much trouble. But this also applies to other formations, such as, do they have any tight formations in here? Let's see. I thought they had a tight formation in here. Anyway, we'll go to tight offset tight end, and I guess now we'll take a look at something like, we'll call random play, why not? We'll see. Okay, I figured they'll give me a run play. Anyway, let's take a look at this play just because, right? So, what I love to do is pinch my whole defense. Now, if I'm in dollar, I love to use it as safety. So, this is an advanced setup, right? So, what you want to do is you actually want to deep half both your cornerbacks, and then you want to middle third your safety. And then I like to actually shade, not shade down. You want to take R1, put them in vertical hook. L1 in the vertical hook, and then take your 2 linebackers and put them in hard flats. Now, I know that's a lot. I know that's a lot. Some of you guys are saying, "Real, there's no way you have time," but this is what I do in game. Now, also, another thing I want to say, too, is you can't individually back your cornerbacks off, but I do want to reset it real quick. So if you don't feel like you can do all that, what you can do is leave your quarters on the field, and your first adjustment can be taking L1, putting them on a vertical hook, R1 on the vertical hook, and then your linebackers, go ahead and throw them in hard flats. And like I said, it's going to take a while for you to get the adjustments down. So triangle, triangle, L1, vertical hook, triangle, triangle, R1, vertical hook. Then you want to press right directional, square, and then right stick to the right for hard flat, and then the same thing obviously for the other side. But once you get in practice mode, you really start to understand that. So I love this setup. Really love this setup. Now if I have time, I'll take square and put them in the spot and I'll rush 2. But normally I do love the rush 3. Now if they're getting really aggravating with the quarterback rolling out, I normally like to take this left vertical hook over here and I'll throw him in a spy. And then now we have a safety or corner, that's a quarterback spy. So now with my user, I'm more focused on this side. Now, if they're getting really annoying, like if they're getting extremely annoying, one thing I do like to do is instead of vertical hook, I'll just put them in a hard flat and I'll just double Mabel. But those vertical hooks are just really great. So sometimes I do play aggressive. I play conservative defense like this, where now I'm gonna say, hey, y'all are gonna guard everything underneath, right? And I'm gonna look for something that's leaking. So obviously I would come back and cover that. So really love those vertical hooks. They just, to me personally, vertical hooks, when you put them by your slot cornerbacks, they just do such a better job than hook zones, in my opinion. Especially if you have a quarterback spy out there. So just kind of look, they just kind of do a great job of just sitting and getting depth, And with this particular play, obviously we would be all over that. So it literally just depends on what your opponent wants to run out of tight offset tight end, and it's kind of hard to say, but my favorite thing, like I said, if you just are slow on setting stuff up, you could just call underneath, shade over the top, and you could take both of your linebackers and put them in purples, and then you could put, like I said, your safeties like that. This is another way I love doing it too. And then keep my quarterback contained. I'll put my best pass rusher right here in this spot. And like I said, this setup is good because we're gonna be able to play great run defense, and you also want to make sure you always pinch your defense, right? Don't forget about that. So let's say they go inside zone or something, right? So what you'll be able to do is come down here, look for the gap, and then you want to feel it. Now, like I said, it's not going to be blow it up in a backfield type of run. It all depends on how they're running the ball. Like I said, if they're running the ball a whole lot and you feel like you can't get a stop, then at that point, if I feel like they're running the ball a lot, I'll come out and dime normal. And since we're zone dropping, cover 4 quarters isn't quarters at all. It's really just cover 4 drop as you know it. So don't forget about that either. So it's like I have different defenses. So I'll come and dime normal if I feel like they aren't, if they're running the ball too much and I don't like it. Because then out of this, what I'll do is the same thing. I'll shade over the top, put my deeper zones out there by my slot cornerbacks, and then square right here, I'd actually put him on that side just like this. X, right? Normally you have enough time to do all that. And like I said, if they happen to run the ball, this is a little bit better of a defense because now we have more people in the box, if that makes sense. So now blitzing, you definitely can blitz. Now if I blitz, this is just me personally. So if I blitz, I like to actually turn zone drops off because I like to actually play match coverage when I blitz. And the only reason why is because it's going to be a man match when you blitz. So I do want to show this for those of you guys that are still here. I appreciate you, but I just want to show you what I like to do. But again, I do want to say I don't like to blitz. Okay, and there's actually another cover shell I do like to play around with if I have time, and I'll show you that here at the end. So anyways, let's go to Y out. So if I blitz, what I love to do is actually I like to show blitz. So let me hit it again. So when you show blitz, it's gonna walk your safeties down further. Now he'll be right here. And now what I like to do from here is pinch my defensive line. Okay, never mind. Okay. So there we go. So baseline and then press, baseline press. There we go. So I forgot you can't hit show blitz, you just gotta press. So when you press, normally it's gonna end up like this. Now what I like to do, it depends on how much pressure I do. So I normally love to start off blitzing opposite the running back. So I'll blitz this guy right here. And normally I'll take square, put them on a cloud flat, and then I'll play like a cover 2 shell like that. Now if I want to guarantee the pressure or something, or if I feel it risky, I'll take circle and I'll take square, and I'll actually put him in a soft squat. So remember, he's actually going to play match coverage because that's what soft squats do. So and again, you just want to find a gap. Normally I like to try to stand in the middle, or you can stand on a free gap wherever the free gap is, and I'll just kind of show you want to grab the lineman. And then here, we're just looking for somebody to cover. And that's one of my favorite things to do is blitz that slot corner that's away from the running back. So again, you want to press. I like to pinch my defensive line. And if you want to feel super risky, you can actually blitz both of them. Now, if you blitz both of them, I recommend, if you have time, walking your safeties down, because your safeties are going to be playing man coverage. But what you can realize is, look how many people are blitzing. We're blitzing 4, 5, 6. So we really don't need to touch somebody if they're sending everybody out. So what we can do here is come here, and then now we're looking for somebody. But the running back ended up helping out the chip block. But that's okay, because I want you to see how the match coverage played. Because like I said, I do like to blitz from match coverage, just because we're going to get a man style match. Now obviously he got absolutely cooked, but he kind of recovered. But it's man coverage essentially, you know. So I mean, you have to just be careful and hope that your man can get there. But it's zone at the same time. It's man zone, obviously, because that's what match is. So anyways, if you ever want to guarantee pressure though, let's just say, I don't know, 3rd and long, and you're like, you know what, I think I can get there. So I keep accidentally showing blitz. You can't really show blitz in practice mode. But anyways, what you can do, this is super risky though. So what you can do is actually blitz these 2 people. Normally I'll throw him in a spy, and then I'll actually play a cover 2 shell like this. And basically now I'm kind of responsible for the middle. If I have time, I normally just back square off. It just depends. Now, if I play this style, I do like to put circle either on the cloud or a soft squat, and that's going to kind of help him match. Now, your responsibility right here is kind of making sure nothing's going to get beat deep. Now, if you want to disguise it a little bit, you can just leave it pressed if you want to, or you can just run it straight match coverage like this. And if you do this, I recommend you putting your safety in the middle 3rd and then playing quarters on the outside. So what's going to happen is we're going to have match principles, but we're just looking for any leakage. Now, if you want to, you can click that stick in. Oh, I clicked the wrong one, but sometimes I do like to play around with that, where I click the stick in. But this is good if they're sending everybody out, and you're going to go lurk the first thing that you see, because we're going to be pretty much screaming at this point. Notice how he's going to come straight off the edge, and then we're just kind of lurking and seeing what we want. Now, obviously, you know, we would have to be mindful of this right here. So, you know, you'd want to run and guard that. But I do want to show you that one more time. So like I said, this is only if it's maybe 3rd and long and I want to blitz. Because if I want to blitz, I want to guarantee somebody gets there. And I like to put that spy, because it's going to kind of help if the quarterback tries to roll out, if they're trying to throw a little quick little drag or something. It helps out a lot. And so I'll show you this here again. So we're going to put that safety right there. Now right here, literally all we're looking for is just leakage. Now a lot of times you can just snap and you can click that stick in a lot of times too, and it's going to actually force that guy to fly in there. But like I said, that's just a high risk, high reward type of defense. And keep in mind, you can still play around and put like soft squat out here or cloud out here, and I'll kind of show you that here in a second. But it's good, because what's going to happen is that if we click that stick in, when we see that running back go out, we're going to get a guaranteed pressure even if we didn't click that stick in. And notice that if we didn't click it in, then this spy right here would have picked off this pass right here if he would have threw a quick drag. And then of course our user would have been running with this. If I wasn't in La La Land, we would have been running with that. But anyways, they would have had to dump this ball. Look what happens if they dump this ball. We actually have a guy right here who could come make that tackle. So it's just why I like match coverage, man. So last thing that I do want to show you is, like I said, I just want to show you again, basically, that it's really consistent and it's not too hard to set up. It's just that with this setup right here, you'd want to be responsible for a deep middle. That would be you. Now, like I said, sometimes I put them on a soft squat. If you're feeling risky, you can put them on a hard flat. But personally, I like to do soft squats, just in case. And I always love to pinch my defensive line when I do this style of blitz. And it's only versus tight formation. So like I said, we'll come here, and then you can kind of see just how everybody brackets it off. So last thing I will show you too is what it looks like versus the hard flat. Because like I said, sometimes it is good to have a hard flat. Just, you know, you just want to be careful. And you don't have to do anything with square. So if you wanted to, you could just throw square on the purple, and then, you know, you can do the same way. But I like to leave them in a spy, because that way we're going to actually be a little bit better versus the blitz. So like I said, we're here. We know we're sitting the pressure, right? We know we are. So look what's open immediately. There's really isn't nothing immediately. And it's going to throw your opponent off when you're not using that linebacker anyways. And we'll get a nice sack, man. But anyways, I'll show you replay, and then that's going to be all. Actually, nope. There's one more shell I want to show you that I really like too. And like I said, it's just good because we're switching up, because your opponent's going to be used to using this guy, and then we're going to be using a safety. And then, you know, basically he's going to have to make a read right now. So notice how this, he has to make this read right now, right? And you can even get a pick if you were, you know, excellent at lurking. You can lurk that corner and then come back and pick off this post route. You know, there's a lot of things you can do, because they're going to have to, you know, account for you. So notice how right there is just, you know, making a quarterback pick and choose, you know. So last thing I want to show you is man coverage. So man coverage, when I do like to run man, I like to pinch my defense. Now, this is only if you have time, okay? If your opponent's doing a lot of adjustments. If they aren't doing a lot of adjustments, just do your standard rules where you just put a purple for a certain amount, or you can put a cloud that represents wherever you have your flat set at. Notice that you can do that, right? But one thing I like to do if I have time is I'll go to put my cornerbacks on 20 for zone drops for hard flats, and then I'll actually put him, in that flat, so where he's at 20. And if you have time, I like to do it to both sides, actually, like this. And then I like to spy. Lineman. Now, I love this defense right here. If you have time, you can also individually back them off. And you do that by pressing triangle. Then you go to individual on X, and you go to circle, and you back them off. And notice how they back off. Now, I love to do this. Now, we're bringing safety. That normally doesn't happen, but I love to do this because what's going to happen is that no matter what side they run, what side they pass the ball to, we're good. We're just responsible for the running back, and then we can come here, just kind of lurk it, have a great pass rush, maybe sit in the spy or something. So we have a lot of options. Now, I really love that defensive shell. Only reason why I love it is because it's going to do a great job of stopping everything that's going to flood to the outside, right? So it's just why I like it. Now, obviously, you have to be careful because we don't have a safety in the middle of the field, so you can be susceptible to this. So you don't want to put your best cornerback in the slot, or you would want to put a cornerback at safety if you want to do this style, because obviously notice how we got cooked right there. So just again, or if you're not comfortable with that, I would suggest you do this cover shell right here if you're not comfortable with giving up that. And you can always have the option to take circle right here and put him on like a purple. I would suggest putting him on a hard flat, put him on like a flat route. So now we're basically gonna go play over here on this right side. Okay, cool. X. Okay, cool. I'll come over here, and you can kind of see just how everything is bracketed off. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I do hope you guys have a blessed day. I'm Ray Jarrell, and I'm out.